guys, welcome to ANX Quickcast, a 10-minute recap of the latest gaming updates, anime news, and TV series. I'm Mumbai Stan, and I'm here with Genesis.
What up?
On today's episode, we're talking about Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Before we get started, any news?
Same news every day. Not really every day because we record a lot of these quick casts all on the same day. But the news is we're trying to get to 2,000. Trying to get to 2,000 subs. That is our next goal. And when we do that, we will do another giveaway. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are reviewing Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, or as I like to call it, Aquaman 2. We know it was a bust or flop at the box office, but if you actually saw this movie, comment below. Get Y for yes, N for no if you actually saw this movie or if you didn't see this movie down in the comment section. Anyway, what's Aquaman 2 about?
So essentially, Aquaman or Arthur, whatever, killed Black Manta's father in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
So now Black Manta's out for revenge.
More revenge.
Yeah, more revenge. Wants to kill Aquaman, his entire family, destroy Atlantis. So this is really about that. And Aquaman, enlisting his half-brother Orm to help, prevent that from happening. I would say that's probably like high level.
Yeah. So the thing I guess we forgot to mention that this is the spoiler-free review.
Yep.
So if you have not seen the movie, we're not going to give you any spoilers here today. There will probably be a full review at some time in the future with spoilers, so we can just get all into everything. But as of right now, let's start with 3 things you liked about the movie.
Okay.
Let's take turns. You give one, I give one.
Okay. One thing I liked about the movie is the humor. I thought it was funny.
You thought this movie was funny?
I did.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Okay.
You don't want to expand on that? You just want to say that it's funny?
No, I
don't think it's supposed to be a comedy. If I look it up, which I might can do it right here, I doubt that it's action fantasy. So comedy is not in the title.
Yeah, but I just felt like there was a lot of, I don't know if it was just silliness. Like there were certain lines that I think were meant to be funny, and I thought they were funny.
Okay, so if you're looking for a good comedy, I guess Aquaman is your things that. So here, to be fair, I'm gonna let you put another one out there that you liked because I couldn't come up with 3 things. Let's just be honest here. I couldn't come up with 3 things. So you go ahead and go ahead and do 2 in a row.
So I thought the story that they chose to go with was good.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I felt like it was a clear next step or continuation of the first movie. You know what I mean? Like, just the concept of this is what this second one's going to be about.
Yeah, but I felt like it was also, to a certain degree, the same exact story from the first one.
Yeah, well,
it was the same exact stuff happening. It was the sea versus the land.
Yeah.
Do we tell them about us? Do we not tell them about us? And Black Manta running around in between trying to kill you. Now,
what was Black Manta's dad? Was he anybody, or he just happened to be the one that was killed? Because I can't remember.
I think he might have been I don't know if he was the head guy on the submarine.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know okay.
And I think and Aquaman just kind of just let him die, right? Didn't help him. So, all right. One thing that I did like about the movie, the Black Trident.
Oh, yeah.
The weapon that Black Manta got his hands on. All the scenes with the Black Trident was dope to me.
Yeah.
So, that I like that. Being nice.
Yep. All
right, what you got for your last one?
The last one I came up with is some of the visual effects. And this is hard. I had a hard time coming up with things I liked also. So it's on one hand, it's hard to say the visual effects are good. I mean, I would kind of expect them to be good.
Huh?
I mean, you know what I mean? This is a DC movie.
I would expect that too. Well, I'll get into more of that.
So like when he knocked that big tree or statue over and made the bridge and that whole area where like it was like real pretty
Sure.
Flowers
like the scenery, I guess, was fine, but that particular scene where he knocked it over, I mean, those were some pretty bad graphics. because because his movement and I think it's one of the trailers, so we're not spoiling anything.
Yeah.
But that abnormal movement where it's so fast,
Yes.
all that was CGI, and it looks so ridiculous.
Yes, part of that scene, I agree, looked ridiculous, but I thought that bridge was cool. I'm reaching too. Okay, I don't know.
Okay, so here's the number one thing I liked about the movie. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom permanently is ending 10 years of crap ass DC extended universe movies.
Yep.
Thank you. I mean, do I have something for that? Do I have any? Yes. Go away with your bad movies. Like I said, I can make a case that damn near every DC movie that has come out since Man of Steel has been worse than the previous one. Each one just seems to be getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And this one does not fail. It's a bad movie. So it's flopping at the box office partially because it is the last movie. I did have that why am I watching this feel to it. That Dark Phoenix X-Men under Fox feel, like why am I watching this? So that's partially why it flopped. It's also just a bad movie. So there you go. What about some things you didn't like?
The ending. That was, and I'm talking about like the
corny.
Very end was like one of the corniest things I have ever seen in my entire life.
There was a lot of corny stuff going on in this movie.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the things I did not like, similar to the first movie, there was a lot of similarities in between this and the first movie. The first movie, I'm gonna just name a bunch of things right now because I feel like I'm trying to be nice, but I'm gonna just go off. The acting all around was bad in this movie, but specifically Jason Momoa. Like he is bad. He's a bad actor, but now they have him acting like dad, and then bad. Yep. This is just bad acting. 2, the music. I said when we reviewed the first Aquaman, this one I feel like had more of the cinematic music and the superhero type melodies. That's fine, but then when you put in some random rock song that does not fit the entire movie or what's happening on the screen, they did that in the first movie. It just takes me out of the movie. Like they do it well in Guardians, they do it horribly in Aquaman.
That should be a good thing if it takes you out of the movie, though.
Yeah, but no, it's not. Generally speaking, that's not a good thing.
No.
And then the graphics for me were actually one of the worst things. I said in the first one that the graphics looked weird to me. Everybody was applauding the effort and the achievement, but that doesn't mean that most of the time inside the water where the people were, it didn't look weird. It did look weird, and it was the same thing here. Yep. People underwater looked weird with that. They had that blur effect, and it looked crappy.
Yeah.
Right. So some of the same issues I had in this movie as the first movie. What else did you not like about the movie?
So it's funny. So the next thing I wrote was Jason Momoa's acting.
It's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I went through all mine. So.
Oh, you already did.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last thing, you already said it. I mean, I was making a point that the very end was like the cheesiest thing ever. But I also wrote down as another thing I don't like that in general there was a lot of cheesy in this movie.
Yeah. It was super cheesy and way too similar to the first movie. And the movie was just kind of stupid. Like I don't really know what other way to put it. It was just kind of stupid, and it was just like, we have some podcast, people that we know that like to say, oh, if you turn your brain off, it was a good movie. It was probably one of those, I guess. If you could turn your brain off and just get to the big explosions and the big fighting scenes, then it's fine. But a movie A through Z, especially in this day and age, comparing it to other MCU movies and blah blah blah, we had stuff like Infinity War that exist.
Yeah.
This is a horrible movie.
So I will say this. Number one, I had zero desire to see this movie.
Me too. Zero.
If it were not for the podcast, I would never have seen this movie.
Same here.
However, I will say I was pleasantly surprised. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It was exactly as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Whether the moments that I found funny were supposed to be funny or not, I don't know. But that was the only thing that I was kind of like, this movie's all right. I mean, it made me laugh quite a bit. So I was just like, this was not as torturous as I thought it was going to be. Yeah,
there was actually one point where I was ready to this be the first movie that we just walk out of. There really was. I was like, I'm ready to just walk out of this because it's really that bad.
Now, in comparison to what it should be, like is it on a Marvel level? No, not at all. It just wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
So
would you recommend anybody watch this movie?
No.
Would you recommend a DC fan watch this movie?
Yeah.
I would not recommend this to people. I would not even recommend a DC fan watch this. There's just no point. There's no substance to the movie itself, and it doesn't continue on any type of story because it's the last movie that's coming out under the extended universe, the DC extended universe. So it's like I would not recommend it to them either. One thing I will point out, because the first movie made over $1 billion, and it was mostly because women wanted to see him over and over with no shirt on. I feel like that didn't happen a lot in this movie. Maybe because he's 5 years older and he's 50 something, right? I don't know how old he's.
Probably.
He's getting older.
Yeah.
It just didn't happen. So I feel like the fact that DC is doing this big money grab right now, I feel like that should have been a thing.
Probably.
But it wasn't.
Yeah.
So any women out there listening, or men, that went to specifically like the first one because of how he looked with his shirt off, it didn't really happen in this movie.
Yeah, so don't go for that.
Can't go for that either. So I don't know what to tell you. Random score off the top of your head.
8.
This movie a 8?
Well, that's pretty low compared to what I tend to give most Marvel movies. They're usually like 9.6.
Okay, I'm thinking this was like a 5.5.
Oh, okay.
Possibly even lower. 8 is like super high. Whoa. So it sounds like you really like this movie.
I mean, I did kind of like the movie. I thought it was funny.
It wasn't supposed to be funny. It's not a comedy.
I know.
I mean, all of these movies now have the little comedy pieces in there, but as a whole movie, it wasn't supposed to be funny.
What?
Like, it was ridiculously bad, which made it funny, I guess.
Yeah.
But not when I have to look and see I spent money on this. Like, no.
I mean, I just didn't think, like, yes, there was the one that you talked about earlier, the one, whether it's graphics or whatever you want to call it, that was weird. But generally speaking, I still feel like there was good graphics.
Everything felt, so this is what I'll say. This is my official opinion about the graphics. I felt like we were inside of a PlayStation 6 video game. There was too much CGI.
Oh, okay.
They might have perfected certain parts of it, but when 96% of your shot is CGI and there's all these little details, it was too much. It was way too much. In every single scene, like I said, it felt like I was trekking through a video game. Like it was bad. And what I will say about graphics, CGI specifically, CGI was created to be a cheaper version alternative to special effects.
Yeah.
Their goal is to make those CGI graphics look as real as possible. I feel like they failed in this movie. There were too many things that clearly were CGI. The best CGI is stuff where you wouldn't even know it was CGI. Okay. They failed here with that. You knew, not because you know, because of what your eyes told you, you knew everything was CGI.
Yeah.
Because everything looked like CGI. To me, that's a fail.
Yeah.
So, like I said, 5.5. That's going to be my unofficial score.
Okay.
You got anything else? It's a crap movie, y'all. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your time.
Yeah, no, like I said, I would never go based on the first movie.
I would never watch this again. I would not recommend anybody to watch it, even if you are a DC fan.
And honestly, it shouldn't work this way, but it probably is a mental thing for me. I went in thinking it was going to be absolutely horrible. And so I think it just was better than I expected.
Okay.
But that's not saying much. But still.
So if you do watch this movie, go in thinking it's going to be the worst thing you've ever seen, and you would be pleasantly surprised.
Exactly. I'm just saying that happens. I mean, it is a mental thing.
Okay, it's you got to be mental for this to be a decent movie. Anyway, you ready to wrap up?
Yes.
All right, let's do this.
All right, y'all. That's it for today. Thanks for listening to ANX Quickcast. If you enjoyed the show, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when we release new episodes. See you next week.
Check out these other videos. There's probably going to be a lot of quick casts coming, but check them out. They're here.